agency take care of some core needs so that when the
He
draft
did it.
comes,
He did it again. I'm out, guys. I'm out of here. All right, what's going on, guys? So Monday, Cowboys officially announced newly head coach Brain Schottenheimer. They had a press conference with Jerry and Steven, and oh boy. I don't even want to say that I'm nervous to watch this, but more so hesitant, knowing that when I do watch it, I'm going to lose some type of brain cells because it's going to be Jerry and Steven trying to gaslight all the fans and these clowns convincing us that there's some hope in this fan base and that they care about winning. Yeah, this is not going to be fun to watch. If you guys have been following me on here, or if you follow me on social media, or you know me personally, you know I am a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I love watching them. And I have dealt with so much mediocrity over the years. I'm 25 now, and it's only getting worse. And I'm starting to lose my love for them even more now. And I remember I used to get so upset when they would lose. I would just let it ruin my day. And pretty much up until this past season, no matter what my schedule was like, I dedicated at least 3 to 4 hours to watch a Cowboys game on a Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever it was. And I would be completely locked in. Nobody was going to bug me. So if somebody wanted to hit me up, Eric, you want to hang out? Yeah, sure. After the Cowboys game. Oh, Eric, you have a 10-page paper due tomorrow? You better get started on it. Nope, sorry. After the Cowboys game. That was always the mindset, and I was never going to let anything get in the way of that. But ever since that Green Bay playoff loss last year, I just started to hit my breaking point as a fan. And I'm not saying I'm not going to be a fan anymore. I'm going to jump ship to another team. Like, get out of here. I'm not going to do any of that. But as I get older, I start to see how this team operates. And it gets to the point where you become numb to the inevitable. At some point, you just have to accept the fact that you're losers. And after that Green Bay playoff loss, it took a lot out of me. And by week 5 this year, I was pretty much checked out. After that Lions game, I was like, all right, I'm done getting mad. I'm done ranting. I'm done getting angry about a team that doesn't care about me and the fans. And it's just funny because you would think that after an embarrassing playoff loss like that, and after years of mediocrity, you would think that that would be a culture shift, right? You would think that there would be changes that would come along. You would think this front office would look themselves in the mirror and say, maybe we are doing something wrong, but they don't do it. And that's because this egotistical maniac, Jerry Jones, does not care about winning. So because he doesn't care about winning, I started to care about the team less. Like, seriously, guys, my family and I broke our 6-year streak of going into a Cowboys game every single year because of this clown right here. And I can't tell you the last time I wore their merch either. Shoot, it's probably been like since week 4. And after seeing it just get worse and worse and seeing who they just hired, I have finally had enough of it. Like, I'm serious. I literally unfollowed the Dallas Cowboys when I saw that they hired Brain Schottenheimer. I'm not following them on any social media platform anymore. And it's because I'm done seeing these clowns on my timeline making stupid decisions. I don't want to see it anymore. Anyways, let's dive into this press conference so I can laugh at this poverty organization. This is going to be awesome. I've already heard all the buzz on Twitter and hammering of Jerry Jones. Oh boy, here we go.
I'm honored and privileged to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. As you guys will learn from me, the Schottenheimers tend to be criers. And that just means we show our emotions. What I'm going to challenge these guys to do is to let their personalities shine. We've got some incredible, incredible players. We've got incredible support staff. The strength staff is here. That means the world to me. You guys took the time to come up here. But to do what we need to do, it's going to take incredible amounts of hard work, but we're going to do it together. Our team, the Dallas Cowboys, will be driven by a competitive spirit and a love for one another. Lastly, I would be remiss if I didn't thank my family. It's been an incredible journey. I've had some opportunities when I was a much younger man that I didn't feel like I was ready. I'm ready now. I know what I want. I know what it looks like. But for you guys that have been with me the whole time, my extended family, I love you. Thank you for being here. To my sister that couldn't be here, Kristen, I know she's watching. She probably has on my dad's Schottenheimer jersey. To my wife, Jemmy. It's been an incredible journey. Lots of ups, lots and downs. You've always been by my side. You're my best friend, and I love you more than you know. To my kids, Sutton and Savannah, thank you for the sacrifices that you made to allow me to pursue my dream. You are my greatest achievement, and I love you. To my mom, one of the first ladies of pro football, when I saw her last night and I had the chance to embrace her, I said, baby, you did it. I love you. And in closing my remarks, there's one person that's not here today, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him. My father was a legendary coach, a great man, but he was an incredible father. And he's impacted me more than anyone in this profession. I know he's looking down on me. I know he's proud, and I miss him very much. But I know what he'd say to me. He'd say, Brian, the easy part is over. It's time to get to work. I love you, Dad. Thank you, everybody that's here. Go Cowboys.
Yeah. First of all, that was a heartfelt message. I do respect that, he recognized his family. That's obviously the most important thing. Recognize his past father, who was actually a legendary head coach, by the way, and Marty Schottenheimer. And yeah, look, I think he said all the right things. But I feel for the guy because he's coming into a lose-lose situation. If he does succeed on the Dallas Cowboys and he does end up changing the dynamic, then what? What happens when it goes bad? What happens when they hit adversity? Because inevitably it's going to happen because it's just a culture thing at this point, right? Like we've had good head coaches in the past. We have had good players. We have a lot of talent. I mean, it's never been a talent thing for the Dallas Cowboys. Now this year, they let all their talent go because they were lazy, but they have had some really good teams in the past few years that have been able to compete for a Super Bowl, championship level defenses, great offensive lines, great running game. When they had prime Zeke, Dak played at an MVP level 2 years ago. CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in the league. Micah Parsons, one of the best edge rushers. DeMarcus Lawrence, Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs, like all pro players. But those players disappear in the biggest moments. And it always disappears when the lights are the brightest and playoff atmospheres and big games where they have to make adjustments, right? They have to tighten up the schemes. And they're always so unprepared. And you can blame it on coaching, but it's all up in the man upstairs. And I ain't talking about God. I'm talking about Jerry Jones, man. Like, this is tough. I feel for the guy because it's a lose-lose situation for him. If he comes in and he ends up being better than a lot of Cowboys fans think he's going to be, okay. But what happens when it gets bad? Like, he brings in his own staff, but what happens if they don't fix the roster issues? Because this roster has a lot of holes in it. So what happens if they don't fix it? Then Jerry Jones is just literally going to scapegoat him and let him go. And he's not going to take any blame for it. It's going to be all on Schottenheimer. So if Schottenheimer fails, it's going to be, okay, well, whatever. It was his fault. It was the coach's fault. Not my fault. It's his fault. Even though he's the one that hired him and decided not to interview any of the top candidates. But that's beside the point. Whatever. It's his fault if it fails. Oh, he does good? Well, guess what? I take all the credit because I took a risk and hired him. It's a lose-lose. I feel for the guy. I just hope it goes well for him for his sake. Because if not, Cowboys fans and Jerry Jones, they're going to run this man out of town if it goes south. And they're probably expecting him to come in right away and make an impact. I just don't know why they wouldn't re-sign Mike McCarthy. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and get on into these buffoons talking. They're going to be asking Steven and Jerry these next few questions. This is Calvin Watkins. See what happens.
Why did you pick Brian Schottenheimer? What was it about him that you guys felt like he was the right fit for you guys?
In 35 years, I don't think I've ever visited with a coach, but what in my heart and mind I wasn't having an interview. I don't think I've ever had a coach visit with me that wasn't prospectively thinking maybe someday our paths might cross. I know Jones might give me a little thought as I'm along the way. I've been around a lot of coaches.
No, you pretty much are the coach.
As a matter of fact,
you have all the
be a
power.
coach. Except I wanted to live better than I thought
Here we
coaches
go.
live. I wanted to drive a little bigger car, and I wanted to.
It's just a
fly
big
an
joke to
airplane.
him.
Had I known what I'm paying him now, I'd have been a damn coach. On my college team, within almost 3 years after we won the national championship, every position coach, the Johnny Majors, the Hayden Fries.
How many years
the
ago was
Doug
this, Jerry?
Every position coach became a head coach. So I've seen it when I was a pup.
No. Look at him. He's starting to cry. Y'all see him? He's starting to get emotional. He's trying to play victim, even though he's the one that caused all this bullshit. Get out of here, Jerry Jones. I don't want to hear you cry. Schottenheimer, okay. Thank your family. Rest in peace to your father. But this man has no reason to cry, bro. This is all your fault. Sorry.
I have a good background in the makeup of what a coach is. To think that you could make a decision in an interview and not have talked if you didn't and hadn't ever communicated or had
Whoa,
a
whoa,
visit?
whoa, 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 whoa. Go back. What did he just say? Hold on.
And not have talked if you didn't and hadn't ever communicated or
If you did it and you had get the words out, Jerry. You're losing it, bro. 82 years old. Hang him up. Sell the team.
I wouldn't dare have had an interview unless I talked to many, many people that knew that person and had had those kinds of life experiences, knew their story, if you will, Shotty.
So he's basically saying that if he had knew Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn, if he had knew these guys personally on a deeper level, he would have interviewed them. Like, is that's your excuse for not interviewing a top candidate because you knew Schottenheimer personally, because you love your exes, you love somebody who's already been on the team? Dude, I just don't get it. Why are you playing it so safe, man? Priorities, man. His priority is not focused on winning. Let's continue.
We know what osmosis is, and we know what Shotty grew up around.
Yep, this is what I'm talking about.
Not just from that, but we knew. And I know that Shotty is no stranger to these guys.
All right, that's valid.
I know he's no stranger to this building. Now, I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone.
Oh, God, here he goes.
Without this thing being about me in any
So he's going to
way,
make it about him.
if you don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable.
Oh, look at Dak, bro. Dak's laughing, bro. He don't care. He's getting, that boy Dak's getting paid $60 million. He don't care, bro. He's just sitting there and enjoying it. Good on him, bro. Good on him. That's funny though. This man really just said, if you don't think I can get out of my comfort zone, that is funny, Jerry. You are a freaking comedian, bro.
This is as big a risk as you could take.
A bigger risk.
As big a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience.
That's not a thing to flex, Jerry. Taking a risk over a coach that has no head coaching experience. Yeah. All right. I don't think that's something you want to flex, bro.
Let me share something with you. With all of that, you've just heard him reference his osmosis, his family. Anybody in this room that doesn't believe the apple doesn't go far from the tree has missed it someplace down the road.
That's a bar. I can't lie.
Especially if there was an effort to make it that way, and there was an effort. But then you go around to the countless numbers of coaches that Shotty has served on staff with and been around, the countless players. How often do you have someone that has 25, I'm going to say 25, it may be 26,
He doesn't even know, bro. You have dementia, bro.
working through the human relationship and aspiring to learn, have his ears and eyes wide open and looking for techniques and looking for things that make coaches better.
25 years of experience, but head coaching. Which, it's not a problem. Like, I get it. You get rookie head coaches, but look at this guy's resume. Like, how many years ago did this guy have success? Like, I hate to bash the dude, but come on, I'm just thinking of Brain Schottenheimer, right? So, 2018, 2021 was his most recent stint of success, and that was his moment in Seattle with Russell Wilson, the let Russ cook era. And they had some pretty dynamic offenses. They were very air-rated. Russell Wilson had some MVP-type seasons, but then they eventually hit the wall, which, as, all good things hit the wall eventually, especially if, as teams start evolving and everything. And, this was after beast mode where they started turning into an air raid offense. So he had some success there, but again, hit the wall. Let's go back to his resume then. 2010 era with Jeff Fisher and the Rams. How did that one go, right? Outside of that, 2006 and 2011 AFC Championship on Rex Ryan's staff with Mark Sanchez at QB. AFC Championships back to back. That's good success right there. But guys, how many years ago was this? This was 2011. This is over 14 years ago. Outdated, man. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Congratulations. How many years ago was that, right? When you're outdated, you're outdated. And Schottenheimer has zero head coaching experience. And he hasn't called plays in how many years? He was a consultant. He was OC last year, but Mike McCarthy was calling the plays the last 2 years. So you're expecting him to come in here right away and just completely change the dynamic of things? I'm not saying he's going to be a complete disaster, but come on now. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's more so like, why didn't you just at least get ahead on the interview process? Like, you dragged this whole thing out with Mike McCarthy. You could have literally fired him either last year when you got embarrassed in the playoff game. You could have completely cleaned house and started there from a new head coach. Or you could have fired him like during the season and got a head start on these candidates. But no, you waited until the deadline and you missed the opportunity to interview a high head coach like Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn or these other top candidates. And you decided to settle for your exes because you love doing that. The only people you interviewed, who'd they interview? They interviewed what? Leslie Frazier, Robert Saleh, Kellen Moore, and Brain Schottenheimer. There's already 2 exes right there. Robert Saleh, better as a defensive coordinator. I would have brought him as DC. But yeah, I mean, shoot, the best thing that Jerry's done all week, all year, probably in the last 3 years, is he, that's not including the draft, because you give Will McClay that and that front office some credit there too. The best thing that Jerry Jones has done is he went ahead and got Matt Eberflus as a defense coordinator, which, bad head coach, great defense coordinator. I wanted Robert Saleh, but I'll take Matt Eberflus as a defensive-minded guy being the defense coordinator. I love that. Not a big fan of losing Al Harris, but that's a positive if you're a Cowboys fan. Getting Matt Eberflus, I think that's a great hire. Schottenheimer, ugh, yeah. So anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, let's give Schottenheimer the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's say he comes in, right, and he unlocks the run game again. Let's say we draft Ashton Genty, which I hope we do. He finds the run game. He gets Dak comfortable. Dak gets healthy. How long does it last? How is the rest of the supporting cast going to look? How's the offensive line going to be, right? Like, who's going to be the wide receiver number 2? Who's going to be the running back number 2? Like, you're probably going to lose Rico Dowdle. He's earned himself a contract somewhere else. Right now, your wide receiver 2 is Jalen Tolbert. Jerry just hasn't done anything to make this team be successful. So, like, there's just so many holes. Like, you're setting Dak and this head coach up to automatically fail because your inability to run a decent operation. Like, oh man. It's a win-win for Jerry, like I said, guys. If Schottenheimer sucks, Jerry can blame him and run him out of town. If he's good, then he takes all the credit for him. So, win-win for Jerry Jones. Let's continue. I'm sorry. I've been yapping.
How often do you have a chance to take advantage of all of that at 50 years old, which is a puppy? Yet he's had 25 years. I've read.
Why does he keep saying that? Like 25 years? Like, okay, like he has a lot of experience as a coordinator. He's got to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, America's team, with all this pressure. Experience doesn't mean shit. I'd rather have a rookie offensive-minded guy like Kevin O'Connell or like Sean McVay. Like, get like Ben Johnson. Get one of those guys in.
If you really knew my score sheet, you would see that I've taken more risk in the last 5 years than the rest of my life put together. And sometimes I don't know when I look in that mirror why the risk.
You
is
never
taken.
look in the mirror, dude. You don't take risk and you don't look in the mirror. Those are 2 lies.
With it there, I got here taking shots. Good things have happened. Let me tell you something. There's some stuff to be had over there where not many people go. There is.
What is he talking
Don't
about?
think for 1 minute I won't take a shot. This was risky. This is risky. But by the same token, how often can you take a risk when someone has had over 30 years, almost 30 years?
Why does he keep saying that? Why does he keep saying that? That's irrelevant. Like, there is so many, there's a rookie head coach every single year, okay, with not nearly as much experience. Like, they have experience as offensive coordinators, but so does Schottenheimer, right? You want these young, innovative offensive guys, like 25 years, like in college programs, or like being a part of the staff in like 06, 07 on like a Jeff Fisher or, you know, Rex Ryan. Like, those were years ago. Like, outdated, bro. Come on now, man. There's 25, 30 years of experience. It doesn't mean anything, dude. Especially when you don't have a good roster around him. That's another thing.
Getting my numbers mixed up. But
there he goes again. He's got
years
Alzheimer's, guys. He's forgetting everything.
Being around coaches, of being around players. That's 2/3 of his life, and then the rest.
2/3 of his. Hey, you know what? I'll give him some credit. He can at least do some math.
Clarence, for your benefit, I'm all in here.
Oh my God. I think there was like a counter for how many times Jerry actually said that he was all in last year. I think it was like 9 times. All in my ass. Pause.
One of the reasons we came to that decision is because there was this decision available to us as well. One of the reasons. Schotty has fantastic support among our players, key players, real support. And they've seen him when he was on top. They've seen him when it didn't work out so well.
What do you guys need to do differently to support Brian and to end the 29-year drought that you guys have between going to a Super Bowl?
Good. Ask him the good
I
questions.
think you always have to evaluate, where it didn't go right last year. And obviously we're also evaluating where it didn't go right, in terms of, this drought that people say we're in.
He just put air quotes around drought. He just put air quotes around drought. Hold on, go. No way, dude.
In terms of, this drought that people say we're in terms of
people say we're in. You're in one. Yeah, it's not people say that you're in a drought.
Championship game or a Super Bowl. And, we just have to continue to make this roster better. It'll certainly be something that Jerry, myself, Will and his staff, and now Coach Schotty and his staff, we'll sit down and take a look and see what we have to do.
Sit down, take a look, and do a whole lot of nothing.
A lot of great pieces. You ask why Schotty? I think Schotty's the perfect combination of keeping some continuity, but also affecting change, and we have to support that as well. We're not naive. I know our fans. They're not going to believe, and there's going to be pressure.
Rightfully so.
Until we get the job done. And certainly we didn't get the job done this year. And
you haven't got the job done for 30 years. Congrats.
To win a Super Bowl. I can tell you, I've never seen a man more driven than Jerry. This is.
Oh man, this is getting embarrassing, guys. Like these two clowns really don't look themselves in the mirror at any point and say that they're wrong. Like, can they, for once in their life, just say that they're wrong? Like, they got to put all these air quotes, and it's like all this stuff that these fans are accusing you of are true. They're literal facts. So maybe you should acknowledge them, look yourself in the mirror, and say, you know what? I was wrong. We should have done better. I haven't heard. Have they said that one time? I haven't heard them say that one time. It's an ego thing, guys. Too much power, too much money. That's all I care about, and attention.
Huge to him. To go get this championship. And I know Coach Schottenheimer believes the same thing, and I know our players sitting in the back want it. I mean, they want it. They're driven to get it, and we've got to get the right people to put around them. We'll have turnover in our...
There are players on this team that are driven. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. I know there's a lot of guys that want to win, but hey, it's not just about wanting to win. It's about the owner wanting to be bought in and be bigger than himself. But it's never been that way on the Cowboys. And these, like, he said, I've never met somebody more driven than Jerry. That's another lie. We should have like a lie counter on this video.
And our goal is to put together the best roster in the NFL. A lot of people sometimes scratch their head, why would you go with a first-time head coach? That's been the way of the league these days. Most are going with these young offensive wizards.
If he puts another air quote over something that is literal facts, I'm going to walk out of this room. I'm not even joking. Like he's trying to compare it to a Kevin O'Connell situation or a Ben Johnson situation. That's the way it is. You have to adapt to the league. It's not old school anymore. Like you would hire Bill Belichick and Frank Wright before you would hire Ben Johnson or Kevin O'Connell, because you love those old, outdated head coaches, man. They were good once. Doesn't mean they're good now. The league is changing. Sorry, it's the way it is.
That hadn't been head coaches, but I think we got a better version of that because of Schotty's experience. Everybody's mentioned it. 25 years.
They've said 25, 30 years of experience. They don't even know how many years it is, and they've said it like 5 times already. We get it.
But why should fans buy into Brain Schottenheimer?
Our fans have been very patient.
Too patient.
Very patient. And through you to them, I want to tell them how appreciative that I am of the support and of their interest in the Dallas Cowboys.
Interest. That's a big word. Interest. Their interest in the Dallas Cowboys. He doesn't care about winning. He cares about the fans' interest. Are you going to games? Are you buying merch? You spending tickets? That's all he cares about. The less we do of that, the less it will boost his ego. So stop wearing merch, guys. Stop going to games. I have no desire to go to a game, like, anytime soon.
Now, there's a whole bunch of those fans that look and are interested because they want to see me grovel, whatever it is.
I'm one of them.
But I'm
Guilty.
not putting that up there much. But to those fans who have been with us, this decision to bring Schotty in is risky. It's not a Hail Mary at all in any way. But it's founded over some very unique, as I started off, unique sets of circumstances.
So he's trying to make it seem like because he ended up settling for a coach that was already on the staff, and obviously the consequences are probably going to cost him, he thinks that's his way of saying, oh, I took a risk, I made a big move, and fans should appreciate that. But in reality, you settled for a guy that's already been on your staff. Like, that's a risk. Yeah, sure, it's a risk. It's a stupid one.
I know how much our fans are into the Dallas Cowboys.
He's talking about interest. He's not talking about how much we want to win. Maybe you should talk about how much we want to win, because our fans are starving for a Super Bowl, or starving for at least some success in the playoffs, which you fail to give us every single year.
And for me to be into it is no solace at all. We're interested, they're interested, I'm interested in getting to those playoffs and winning.
No, you're not, dude. You're not. Prove it then.
This is the best way that we can go to the playoffs.
There he goes. It's back to an ego thing. This is the best way, the only way, my way, or the highway.
I'm a big believer in cut splits. I'm a big believer in shifts and motions to distort things. We're going to do a great job of marrying our runs and our passes and make those look the same. I'm proud to say that 2 different times in my career as a coordinator, we led the league in rushing, and they go hand in hand. The running game and the action passing game go hand in hand.
I'm a little excited about that aspect of his coaching. I really do think he's going to lock the run game. Hopefully our front office does a good job. They normally do pretty good in the draft. They will get Genty hopefully at number 12, and they'll unlock the running game. You got to improve on the offensive line. I think Dak is going to be fine if he's healthy. Obviously a little bit concerns with his hamstring and the mobility, and he's getting older. I think he's going to be 33 this year, this summer, I think. Yeah, so might be some concerns there, but I think you are going to see a much improved Dallas Cowboys run game, which got better at the end of the year last year, and I think Schottenheimer is the guy to kind of show that. So I am excited about that. I really do think they're going to draft Genty and they'll have a better run game, but how's the rest of the team going to be? I don't know. Depends what they do in free agency.
Looking in the mirror is one way that you can learn things. Another way is to look at what your opponents and enemies are doing and try to kind of take from their strategies. When you look at a team like the Eagles, for example, do you feel there's anything that you guys can kind of take from their strategies, seeing as they handle free agency a certain way and they're back in the Super Bowl this year, that kind of could work for the Cowboys going forward?
Yeah, I think you
hire a GM. That's one way to do it.
Competitors in your conference, what it's going to take to have success. Really do a good job with your draft, college free agency. That should be where your strong depth is. Obviously, this year we were counting on playing those guys right away, and they had to jump right in. And as the injuries came, more and more had to jump in. Has been our goal in the past. Where can we,
another reason that he's not admitting that he's wrong about how the season went. He's trying to make it seem like injuries were the reason that the Cowboys didn't have a good season. But there was way more to it than just that. I'll tell you that.
The agency take care of some core needs so that when the draft
He did it again. I'm out, guys. I'm out of here. Core needs. He just said core needs and put it in quotes. Another thing that is an actual fact. We have so many core needs, and he put it in quotes. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's talk about all the holes that the Dallas Cowboys have. So are we going to talk about our running back 2 right now is Deuce Vaughn, who's 5'6". He's my height. It'd be like me out there in pads. Look at me. See how skinny I am? Yeah, so you got Deuce Vaughn as your running back 2. You have Jalen Tolbert as your wide receiver 2. What else right now? Trayvon Diggs just had surgery. He's probably not going to be ready. Deron Bland's coming off an injury. DeMarcus Lawrence, you're going to lose him. You're probably going to lose Osa Digizua. He's going to get paid somewhere else. You're probably going to lose Jordan Lewis. He's going to get paid. What else? Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson, they had bad years this past year. Marquise Bell got hurt. You lost your special teams coordinator. You lost Al Harris. Your secondary is going to be worse. I don't know, man. There's so many holes in this team. Like I just named them all. Zach Martin's going to retire, probably, most likely. You have a rookie at left tackle. Terrence Steele is terrible. Horrible contract. Like, there are so many holes on this team. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. And he put it in air quotes like it's not a big deal. Or that they're going to, like, address it.
To take the best player on the board, not unlike we did with CD. We weren't necessarily in that draft looking for a receiver. But CD Lamb's sitting there.
Didn't even know his name.
And you know, it's obvious what you do there.
I want our fans to know that I can manage really good. I do real well managing.
Oh, sure you do.
I do real well managing. I know that bank account's full.
No.
That doesn't mean you got money. It just means you hadn't paid your bills due 60 days.
No, you do have money, Jerry. You just don't know how to manage it, which you just said that you were good at managing, so you just lied.
So you got to look around the corner. You got to be good at it, and you got to live with the time that you're looking around the corner. We obviously hadn't done it well enough. I think our first Super Bowls that I was involved in were before the cap. And so we have to do a better job in that area. Can we? You bet you can. You bet you can.
That's a start. We have to do a better job. That is a start to admitting that you're wrong. Thank you, Jerry, but we're not there yet. I want to see them. I want to see those words come out of your mouth at least once.
Now, all in, we just spent some of it for Dak. We spent some of it for Lamb. We spent some of it for several of our players.
Look, he's getting all excited like he did something, but you did it last second. You did it last second. You could have done it at the beginning of the season, and then you would have avoided CeeDee Lamb missing all of training camp and sitting out. You would have avoided Dak missing that chemistry with CeeDee in the first half of the season because of it. Like, take care of your business early on. Take care of your quarterback early on, and this doesn't happen. And now Micah's got to get paid. That's another thing. Micah's got to get paid. When are they going to pay him? They should probably pay him right now. They're going to end up paying him probably week 1 of the season. It's going to cost so much money.
It was an allocation, an anticipation of what we weren't going to spend or not spend in the future. I'm dreaming of the Cowboys playing in a game like the one I saw last night when the Eagles were sitting up there with those Chiefs.
Well, they haven't played the Chiefs yet, but I see what he's saying.
I'm dreaming of it. I will always dream of it. I've never quit dreaming about it.
You should probably stop dreaming and actually make it happen. Make that dream a reality, Jerry.
I want that. I heard this year that we didn't get Dak signed quick enough.
You didn't? You didn't? Yeah, you heard it because it's true. You didn't.
Dak, you're sitting right back there. You want to stand up and tell him you had something to do with that?
Oh, see, he's trying to blame Dak. So, I'm sorry, guys, but like, I get it. Dak got overpaid. He got the richest contract for a quarterback in NFL history. I get it, but give credit for Dak and his agent for betting on themselves and letting Jerry do that. It could have been cheaper, but now he's trying to blame it on Dak. That's funny. Take care of your business early on, Jerry. Be a better businessman. Aren't you supposed to be one of like the best? Dak's just loving it. I mean, he's a $60 million man, so who cares, right?
Didn't get Lamb signed quick enough. Okay, there's so damn many more things to think about than that clock. It's unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. That was rough, guys. That was a very rough watch. Yeah, look, Eberflus, that was probably the only thing they did that I'm excited about. And then the fact that they could get Ashton Genty. I love Abdul Carter on the opposite side of Micah because they're like literally clones of each other. But outside of that, guys, like you just hear it in these press conferences, the way that this ownership is. It's a clown organization. It's a poverty organization that has different priorities that aren't on winning. And they'll never admit that they're wrong. They said we need to do better, but they'll never admit that they did wrong. Like, it's always air quotes. It's always he said, she said. It's drama. And this is exactly why I lost a lot of love for this team the past few years. So I'm not wearing merch. I'm not going to games. I'll watch. Sure, I'll watch. I'll watch on TV. I love football. I'm never going to fall out of my love for football. But until this team shows me something that they at least want to try to win, I have no desire to get mad or rep the jersey every single Sunday. So that was a rough one. I'll be rooting for Schottenheimer. I hope Jerry and, his clown son do something this offseason. I'll be rooting for the players on the team. But outside of that, Jerry can sell the team, burn in hell for all I care. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.